Michael 7 Michael, and today we've got the one and the only, but there's two of them in the studio. Aren't you gonna introduce yourself?
Oh, microphone issues. I'm the wonderful Corey Davis.
Wow. That's right. We start a new season, and some things never change.
Hey guys, that's mic issues.
Yep, so we got Dayveonne Bussey, and we've got Corey Davis. I'm Michael 7 Michael. You're watching GEEKCASTER. We are live. We are live from GEEKCASTER Studio, and we're also virtual. We're coming from 3 different parts of the nation, 3 different parts of the world, and we're going to bring you everything sci-fi, fantasy, geek culture, and talking about the resurgence of the cons. But first, we're going to talk about an oldie but goodie, yes, a remake called Candyman. I know, Corey, you're going to have a lot to say with this. Plus, Dayveonne, you won't be saying much until you get your microphone going, but we're live.
I'm back. Okay, I'm back.
Oh, he's back.
He's back. Okay. All right, so what do you guys think about this whole Candyman situation?
Let Corey start.
I think in the resurgence of bringing back the classics,
Yeah.
it was just another attempt at trying to bring back the nostalgia that we felt of good movies and things that shaped our society today.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly not the right timing, though.
Interesting. Now, this was in the works for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, and then they decide to, I think they held it back for a while, right?
It went through so many changes.
Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know about Candyman, he was this guy, basically, you threw in some racism. He was he was lynched, and he came back to haunt people, and to get him to appear, you say Candyman a certain amount of times in the mirror, and it's kind of reminds me of that whole Bloody Mary kind of vibe, which is interesting, right? And
Yes.
that's Candyman. The original film, a lot of people were frightened. They loved the sound, the richness of Candyman's voice, and
By Tony Todd.
yeah. And Davey, can you go a little louder? You're a little low in the with your microphone there.
Okay, by Tony Todd.
Yes, by Tony Todd. And actually, I'm gonna pull up a picture from old to new, just a great actor, Tony Todd, and on the way, kind of passing the baton. Now, I didn't see the film yet. I want to see it in the theaters. I'm trying to check it out in the theaters. I didn't want to download it or catch it somewhere online. Corey, would you say that that's a good move?
Yes.
Okay, and why so? And and then after that, Dayveonne, you break down what you feel about watching the film and everything.
Okay.
It gives back to the artists and to the people who work really hard to produce these films and when you go see it in theaters. And I think with the deals that they have with the streaming services is not enough to give back. I mean, it's an attempt in something within this whole pandemic that we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
But if you really do support filmmakers and you like the whole experience,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing that's going to replace the theater.
And you've said this before, Corey, that there are films that you just have to see in a theater. It's just not the same experience. So that's kind of what I was also wondering too. Like, is this one of those films that are you're just not going to get the same impact at home?
That's a tough one, honestly, with this one, because yes, all right, I'll go with the first movie. The whole B scene, like how horror movies have that one thing that sticks out to them.
Mm-hmm.
Freddy Krueger in the dreams, Exorcist in the bed.
Right.
The original Candyman with the bees. This one, honestly, I can say you can go without seeing it in theaters.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it does have a shocking moment, though, and I'm not going to spoil it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the film, which is like, whoa, you didn't expect that to happen.
Right, but that whole experience, you don't have to be in the theaters to like be shocked and awed. You can get that same feeling at home. I don't think that the difference between seeing it on your screen versus the big screen is that much of a difference to separate in these terms.
And Dayveonne, did you like the film?
I want to say it's a different take. It did basically give some type of a new perspective. It is a sequel, sequel to the third and the fourth. I mean, I think it's like the first, second. How many Candymans came out? 2? Or was it 3?
I think it was 3.
I think it was 3.
No, yeah, I think it was 3.
Yeah. And this one makes the 4th one, right? Think so? Okay, so this is pretty much the 4th installment, if just to let people know.
But you don't need to know that. You don't have to see the other movies in order to like.
Yeah, because it basically gives hints itself.
Easter eggs, as we like to call it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, hit or miss, you guys. Is this must watch, or you could pass? What are you thinking before we go to the next?
It's in between.
Yeah.
It's not a must watch, but you shouldn't skip it. But it's not. Don't go out of your way to see it.
Right.
Okay.
I would say the same thing as Corey. Like, it's a good film if you're a huge Candyman fan.
Mm-hmm.
If you're into the whole story of the origin. But if you're a person that's new to it, I would say, not skip it, but see it, but take your time.
Right.
I would say definitely watch the original Candyman before you watch this film in order to appreciate it.
Right.
All right. Now, speaking of films where hit or miss, I have some probably harsh opinions on this one. I definitely want to know what you guys are thinking on this one. Meet the Blacks, The House Next Door, which is Meet the Blacks 2. I wanted to support. It's basically Fright Night mixed with the Meet the Blacks franchise. I thought that was clever. I thought that was great. I think if you're gonna do with the whole rehashing old concepts, I'm like, but then it stops there. But then it stops there for me, and it just, I don't know how to say this, but it just wasn't funny.
All right. My opinion about Meet the Blacks, I didn't see the movie, but from what I saw in the trailer, it didn't catch my interest.
At all?
It was one of those films.
Wow.
Huh?
I
It
said
didn't
at
catch my
all, it
interest
didn't-
at all.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. Because, to be honest with you, it feels like,
No, lie.
and I hate it. I'm going to lie. So the film was awesome, and it was, but seriously, my guess, I know they was trying to attempt like the whole scary movie type concept with Meet the Blacks, but Mike Epps is going to be remembered as Day from Friday. That's all I could remember Mike Epps, and that's simple as that. Cat Williams.
Now you know that he's gonna play. He's playing Richard. Come on, one of the greatest comedians, black comedians
Richard
ever lived.
Pryor?
Richard Pryor. Thank you very much. He's gonna play Richard Pryor, and I think he's gonna knock it out the park. I think this is gonna be the thing for him. This is gonna be the role.
And I hope it is, but like I said,
But
that whole that whole Meet the matter of fact, the whole franchise. It's like, to me, do something else. Don't even touch horror, and that's it.
All right, Corey. So what did you see that? And what do you
No,
think?
I did not see it.
And you didn't have an interest, or you're just
No, I feel like we're in like this little box where, like you said, it's just trying to bring back old memories, and we're in this whole cycle of trying to bring back this feel of yesteryear. Why
Okay.
can't we do anything different, and it's just
Okay.
all these types of movies. Meet the Blacks, scary movie. They're all in like this niche area of filmmaking, and nothing is different. So it feels like it's just another one to me.
They had all the ingredients. They had the cameos. They had all the caricatures. I think it was. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, we'll leave that there. We'll leave that there. Okay.
Yeah.
But a movie that I got to see a good percentage of it, then I fell asleep. But not a bad thing. I was just tired. But there was a film called The Mad Hatter, and this was interesting. Not to give anything away, but setting things up where a professor slash writer, have these concepts about dreams and there was this house that was burnt down. It was like a house of sin, and it was just the concepts are super interesting. Anyone watching the live broadcast or watching us on cable, check this out. Please tell me what you think. And then hit us back, because I do think it's especially with the whole Halloween coming up, I think it was interesting. Did you guys ever see this film or no?
No, I'm going to check it out now.
Yeah, let's check it out. Let's talk about that again, especially because 'tis the season and all those things are coming up. So I think that would be pretty cool. Did you guys, especially with the whole quarantine thing, did you see Quarantine 2?
No, I wanted to.
No.
It's another one we need to table. And we're going to do this too. We're going to review things, but we're also going to talk about some shows before we see them and then come back and get some reactions. So I think The Mad Hatter is definitely one. Quarantine 2 is interesting. I didn't even know there was a Quarantine 1.
Quarantine 1 was decent.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw
it? Was nice.
So what was that about? Because I didn't see one. I didn't see part 1.
It's pretty much a reporter. If we're talking about the same thing, it's about a reporter who basically doing an interview in the fire department. Fire department has a call about like some type of disturbance or something going on in an apartment. The reporter rides with them. They go into the apartment, and then all of a sudden, these people started having a weird reactions and turning to zombies type creatures. But
it was the most
like survival type
unexpected B movie that you've never heard of. You just watched it, and you're like, "Wow, this is great." Quarantine and
that's great.
But I'm gonna actually add this to it. Technically, Quarantine is really a foreign country's name called I think it's Colombia or something. It's called Record.
Oh, interesting. So they took the same concept from a foreign film and just did a B film.
American version.
Like we mostly do with Korean scary movies and stuff like that. So yeah.
Oh, and can I add one film? And I'm going to ask y'all if y'all seen this film. The Netflix movie, Kate.
Yes, I did see Kate.
So, just to let the audience know what Kate is a assassin that was slipped a fatal poison on her job. A ruthless Tokyo assassin has less than 24 hours to find out who ordered the hit and extract revenge, pretty much. Think of a more serious tone of what's that? Crank.
I wouldn't compare it to Crank.
It was a serious tone of Crank, yeah, because it's like somewhat the same concept. Just serious and with a female lead.
Well, I have my reservations about Kate. I really didn't like Kate. It was, the concept was good. The fight scenes were mediocre. The storyline is the only thing that captivated me, but the acting, what's less than B acting? It's about that level. If you're in it for the enjoyment and the excitement, I think it was cool with the soundtrack, some of the visuals.
Yeah.
It was a good ride, like a great rental, but other than that,
that's interesting. I didn't get that from that, actually.
Same here.
I actually thought the fighting scenes were well done for the most part, and I like the fact that it wasn't a lot of times, especially before I get canceled, gotta watch what I say. Well, all I would say is it's nice to see a lead character fight, and it seems believable. The moves were like, you know what? This lead character can do it. And you see that with men and women where they're like, oh, really? Like, for instance, that whole series, I mean, she's great. I love it. The face, she's all this stuff. Not Doom. What is with the, not Umbrella.
Resident Evil?
Resident Evil, like that whole thing. A lot of things that happen, you're like, okay, no, it's not believable. I didn't get that feel. I really felt that this character, Kate, was kicking butt. This character, Kate, was knocking people down. The moves were very appropriate for, they didn't give moves that you would see The Rock do.
Yeah.
Corey, your face, what's happening here?
I'm dying. The choreography was like they were making up for her lack of martial arts training. And that's what I got. And the scenes were catered to, oh, this is a shocking move, and look at how devastating Kate can be. Right. But the actor of Kate was very subpar.
Interesting.
And that disconnected me from the movie.
I'm surprised, Corey, because you saying her fight choreography wasn't on point, but my thing is, it's supposed to be this whole fantasy thing of, over the top martial arts where realistically we're not supposed to do Wing Chun versus MMA or Muay Thai. It's just straight up regular balanced fights that you actually do on the street where you expect things to happen. So to me, it's like, it wasn't mediocre. It was really trying to get into the realization of what the world like in a real scenario.
I don't want to compare, but it's like when you look at the movie Salt, you're like, oh wow, she can do these things. Or if you look at Jason Bourne, you're like, he's a one-man wrecking crew. When I looked at Kate, it was like, she can shoot, but the fighting. And then there's other aspects that she was dealing with, like the story of that part was good, but when it came to the choreography, I felt that they used too many tricks to make up for the lack of skill that the actor portraying Kate had.
Well, we obviously disagree with that, and that's good. That's good. People watch Kate and let us know what you think. Oh, what did I some dust on my shirt? What's happening there? You guys say something?
Can I add one more movie?
Wait. Before you go to something else, the little girl in Kate
was a good, yes.
Acting was great. The little one-liners and stuff, for the most part, I just felt that it was a little weak of when they wrote that character in.
Yes.
They gave her character such an importance, and I don't think they developed that enough. It took a while to settle in and be like, oh, okay, this is why. Okay, that makes sense, because it felt forced a little bit in the script.
The soundtrack is amazing.
The soundtrack is great.
Yeah.
Everything was appropriate. The Foley was good. I don't know. But anyway, people watch Kate. People watch Kate and let us know what you think.
It's good mindless entertainment, but if you're a fan of that genre, do not expect too much.
Yes. Now. Oh, you waiting for me?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
All right, so another Netflix film called, was it Gunpowder Milkshake?
Tell us. Tell. I don't know that one. Tell me more. Tell me more.
It's pretty much the woman that played in Guardians of the Galaxy, the one that played Nebula.
I'll get it for you in a second. Continue.
Okay, but I'm going to continue. So pretty much the story, synopsis is an assassin who her mother's an assassin. She had to disappear. She becomes an assassin, joins and help, like basically eliminates people, help them out. But she had this one job that she was supposed to do, and next thing you know, her team is trying to kill her, plus the organization and the people that try to kill her, because she didn't relieve the mission of giving the money, and also she has a little girl with her throughout the whole entire time. They have Angela Bassett in there as one of the people called the librarians. Like, if you're talking about John Wick style and all this other good stuff, I would say fight choreography and gun woo was really good in this film.
So better than Kate. I'm sorry, I had to.
You had to say it, didn't you?
The actress name is Karen Gillian or Karen Gillian. I forget how you pronounce her last name.
And y'all never seen the film either, did y'all?
Never heard of it.
All right, look up in Netflix. I want y'all to watch it. Give me your take. It's cool in the audience. Like, to me, it was a really fun roller coaster film, especially with her fight scenes and also her gun woo, plus a couple of other classic actresses that's in there that play one of the librarians or the librarians. Their skills was on point.
Mm-hmm. And before I forget, because we kind of mentioned it and then we kind of went away from it, Quarantine 2.
Yeah, that's what
I thought it was really good. It still, again, it had this kind of B-ish, B film kind of vibe, but I was entertained. I wanted to know what was happening next. I didn't feel like, oh man, why did I bother to watch this? I could be doing something else than watching this right now. And I think at this point with binging and quarantining and, even though it's not a full quarantine, as far as the real world we live in, you're still trying to keep a distance and stay home as much as possible. And the fact that this is called Quarantine 2, I had to watch it. And I thought it was good. I thought it was very realistic. Like in the beginning, how they kind of build up each character. And you're like, okay, I know something's going to happen. And you're waiting. And then you see all these possibilities of something happening. I'm trying to get people to watch it. And when you see it, you'll see, and you're like, oh, this is very realistic. Oh my goodness, this is too realistic. And it was enjoyable. So check that out. I think we should do next week, a whole, like, I don't want to say Halloween, but a horror thing. And the Mad Hatter, Quarantine 2, let's see what we can, we'll figure out some other stuff we can throw in there.
We should also do this is just throwing out ideas, but a movie, a B-list movie that we didn't expect to be good, but was actually great.
And I think that'd be great too, yeah.
You're giving me the Quarantine 2 vibes of how I felt for the first Quarantine, so that's given me a lot of promise to watch the second one.
And another question, where can we watch Quarantine 2?
Quarantine 2, oh man. I believe that's either on HBO, I'm not too sure. It's either on Netflix, HBO, or Prime.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got me interested in looking for it.
Yeah, like I think you'll get a kick out of it, especially because the world that we're living in right now, you're like, oh, okay, I get it.
You can watch Quarantine 2 right now on Amazon Prime.
There you go.
Awesome.
See, Corey's the man. All right, so now I want to go back to Netflix, but first let's talk about some things that are coming up. And I need you guys to explain some things to me now. I always heard about Cowboy Bebop. I just like saying Cowboy Bebop. But I've never seen Cowboy Bebop. What is Cowboy Bebop about, and why should I be interested in the live action?
Can I go? All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop is one of my favorite all-time animes. It is about a space cowboy named Spike, and he teams up with two seemingly random space pirates, and they band together and they go on bounties. It was, you know how you have two buddy cop movies? You're like, oh, this person somehow get along. This anime started that whole genre. And the music, the scenery, the exploits that they go on was so captivating. It just captured everyone in the anime world because it seemingly came out of nowhere and it just stuck. Now that we have a live action, it was always one of those animes that seemed like it would translate well to a live action show. And now that we have that, a lot of people are excited. They kept the theme song. They're keeping a lot of the same costumes. I am very, very excited for this. So if you do not know anything about CU Space Cowboy, you will learn very, very soon.
Excellent. And it takes place in the future, another universe? What?
Yeah. We're all out in outer space, going to different planets, looking for bounties. It's very fantastical.
Sounds good.
I made up a new word.
What Corey said, I'm a huge fan as well. Spike, Valentine, I think that's the girl's name.
Yes. Faye Valentine.
And the other guy, I forgot his name. But it's supposed to be two other characters that's supposed to be on the show that's not on the in this. Well, we don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's keep it like that. We don't know.
Okay. Cowboy Bebop.
You can actually watch any of the episodes and get a full feeling of these characters on the exploits. You don't have to watch it in any order, and that was so great about the show. It was its own thing.
Facts.
All right, so we got some more stuff to talk about, but we're running out of time. So let's get everybody's social media, and those that want to hang out a little longer on Twitch, we'll do another show. And those that are watching us on cable, you'll just see the next episode next week. So that is what it is. Of course, if you're doing the whole YouTube or going to GeekCaster.com, you can watch everything to your heart's content whenever you want. It's awesome. All right, what's your social media, guys?
Dayveonne Bussey on all the things except for Twitch.
You can find me, I am GT3 on all of the things.
Excellent. I'm Michael7 Michael on IG. You're watching GeekCaster. Thank you so much for checking us out. And as I can see the time clock going down, we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Nice Cowboy Bebop insert.
Cowboy Bebop. Bebop. Bop. That's what we do over there.
Hehehe